I'm Ali Greymond. I'm an expert in OCD recovery because for the last 19 years, I've been helping people fully recover from OCD. If you would like to do personal coaching with me, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up from there. Let's talk about full recovery from pure O type of OCD. Pure O is pure obsessional OCD, meaning that there's very little physical compulsions present. Before we used to say no compulsions, but really in practice, there's still compulsions such as researching, Googling, checking, confessing, asking for reassurance. Those are still compulsions with pure O. But most damage is done through rumination, overthinking. For pure O, yes, you can do on-purpose exposures if you want. However, you will never recover doing only on-purpose exposures, scripting, and hierarchy for pure O. The reason being is because your OCD is with you 24 hours a day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. And whenever you get an OCD thought, you are already in the game of ERP. Or rather, you are in the first part, in the exposure part, right? In the E. And now you are at a fork in the road. Are we going to do RP, response prevention, or are we going to do response a lot? And that is with you all day. So one-off exposures are not enough for you to fully recover when you are in this type of OCD scenario. If you are doing avoidance behaviors as part of your pure O, let's say you have OCD where you are afraid of causing harm. So now you start avoiding whoever you're afraid to cause harm to, right? So that would be avoidance behavior. That needs to be worked on as an additional exposure. But considering you are ruminating all day long, that is your number one priority because that is where your OCD is getting fed the most. So you really have to focus on that first. And again, how do you focus on that? Do the Greymond method. Do it through tracking. And with the Greymond method, a key part to this, and we really work on this with clients, is not to only think of it through the lens of your current thought of the day or your current theme. You've been a ruminator most likely all of your life to some extent. Now it's just kind of the extreme situations of rumination. But low-key, probably you've been ruminating about real life stuff for a long, long time. And yes, we need to address the current situation, the current theme, but also you need to address the underlying condition of choosing not to ruminate, not to overthink daily life stuff as well, right? So that way, if you approach it from that perspective, where, again, going back to how to fully recover from pure O, you're not just saying, I'm going to recover from my current thought of pure O, because then the new thought will come in. Instead, you're saying, I'm done. Little by little, I'm going to get to a point. I'm making a decision, but I'm going to get there little by little. I'm done being the ruminator. That is a very powerful position because if that's the choice and you're working towards that choice, towards materializing that choice, right? You give in here and there and you do better and you do the tracking. Please do the tracking. Just do this. You'll see it works. And as you do this, you start to see where in all the other areas of your life you've been ruminating. And it's a very secure position because from that position, nothing will rattle you. Let's say another OCD thought comes in on a whole other theme, potentially. And what? And you're still standing strong because you are no longer the ruminator. So that is the way to fully recover in a way that it doesn't come back. And it hasn't come back to me and it's been 20 years. My clients are recovering. This is actually doable. Your brain is capable. But you need to approach it from this way. Because if you're approaching it, I have clients who come in all the time and they're like, I've been with my previous therapist for 10 years. We're not making any progress. I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, one exposure a day. I'm like, or in-office exposures. You know, it's a road to nowhere.
Thank you for listening. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you would like to do private coaching with me, please sign up through youhaveocd.com. I'll see you tomorrow.